Thanks, Craig. And gee, this is a fantastic sight to see almost 800 people in Crown Palladium for the Melbourne Football Club tonight, given the year we've had. Imagine the potential this club has when we get it right. Thank you very much for supporting this footy club. And as Glenn said, the best and fairest should always be about 2013 or the current year, reflecting on the year, the happenings and results, and recognising the contribution of players, coaches and staff to the year just finished. And clearly 2013 was a most challenging year for the Melbourne Football Club. And clearly we did not achieve what would have been hoped for at the start of the year. But my message from 2013 is for the future. Out of every adversity comes an opportunity, if we want it to. From mistakes we can learn, and from challenges we can develop resilience. We could become victims, or we can meet the reality of where we are head on and do something about it. I'm absolutely confident we are ready to meet it head on. To my mind, the players, coaches and staff have embraced the last 4 months that I've been at the club with professionalism and enthusiasm. It's been a very uncertain time for all of you, and you've all had to deal with some ongoing extreme external and internal forces, but you have responded to my demand on day one that we needed to start to earn respect from the football world and our peers based on how we play the game and how we do business. There have been signs of it in the playing group. We haven't had the wins we may have wanted, but I have seen respect earned. I saw it earned by the Sydney Swans. I saw Travis Cloke bear-hugging Cole Garland after a Collingwood game because of his effort when he was heavily outmanned. I saw Buddy Franklin do a similar thing with James Frawley after the Hawthorn game. I saw the second half last Sunday when in previous games we would have been blown away. And from what I hear in the bar afterwards, Ryan Griffin gave similar amount of respect to Geordie McKenzie for not giving him any space in last Sunday's game. Don't get me wrong, just earning respect for valiant performances is not where we want to be. But given where the club has been and is right now, it's the start of a foundation that we can build on if we want to. I want to thank the coaching panel for your efforts in uncertain times. You have conducted yourselves totally professionally, having accepted the change mid-year very well and given yourselves entirely to the club and the players. Footy is a tough and ruthless industry at times. You should be proud of how you have conducted yourself during this year. And to Neil Craig in particular, thank you for your professionalism, integrity, energy and enthusiasm. I asked you if you would take on the interim coaching role. You didn't have to. You didn't need to put your reputation and feelings at risk, but you did agree to do it. And in doing so, you made it clear, to re-quote your own words to me, that you were going to do it, quote, balls and all, unquote. You have earned the respect of the players and those who have worked closely with you in the last week or so. You've earned the respect of those who've worked closely with you, and in the last week or so the media hysteria could have been difficult for you, but you handled yourself with dignity and respect as you always do, and put the players and the club first on Sunday, to your great credit and as a result, the team's performance. Thank you on behalf of everyone at the club. The staff likewise have responded exceptionally well despite the uncertainty that you have all faced, and to all of you I say thank you. It is very unfortunate there are some good people who have left or will leave the club by the end of this year. It is unfortunate because in many cases it is due to factors beyond their control and is not related necessarily to their performance. I want to thank them all for their best efforts you gave the club this year and best wishes for the future. And I want to also thank all the supporters who have stuck fast over the year. They include, of course, the Foundation heroes who continue to provide unbelievable support recently, the Inner Sanctum, the Coterie and all club members. And also special thanks to the cheer squad. Your support of the players and your noise on match day and your resilience during the year was fantastic, and to see the Demon Army members come up to Darwin and other interstate trips and put their hands in their pocket to support the team. So thank you to Sophie, Ryan, Suzanne and Gary and all the members of the Army. And can I finish my thanks to the people who did most of the work to put this function together tonight, both the function itself and the content that you'll see during the night. Tom, Mallory, Vicky, Jack, Penny and Ryan, thank you for your efforts tonight. Players come to an AFL club looking to pursue their dream of developing a successful AFL career. Some succeed, some don't get to the level they had hoped. But let me tell you, if you're drafted to an AFL list and played one AFL game, you've reached a level very few other people ever achieve. There's a lot of people in this room that would be very jealous. Over the history of the VFL and AFL, about 35% of players play only between 1 and 5 senior games. Less than 20% of all players reach 100 games. Some players will leave the club this year due either to retirement or being traded or being delisted. Whatever your circumstance, I would hope you could look back at your time with the Melbourne Football Club as a great experience that helped develop you as a person, that made you lifelong friends and provided some fun times along the way. Be proud of what you have achieved, no matter your circumstance and number of games, and thank you for your contribution to the club. Aaron Davey leaves the club as a champion. There is a tribute tonight for him from others that know him much better than I, but I would say to you, Aaron, the best part of your life is ahead of you. What you have achieved as an AFL player will allow you to take on a leadership role for your people and potentially make a real difference to community standards if you choose to. You can achieve as much in that area as you have as an AFL player. That's the great thing, ladies and gentlemen, about being in the AFL. It takes you to bigger and better places than just the AFL itself and allows you, if you want to make a much greater contribution than just in the AFL. In joining an AFL club as a player, we hope it becomes more than just an AFL career for you. We hope it develops into a lifelong passion for the club you join, because such passion by players is ultimately what makes clubs great. Passion and values should get handed down from one player generation to the next, so the culture of the club is established and maintained. We want such players at the Melbourne Football Club and for them to hand down to the next generation the culture we want for the club. I met one such Melbourne past player recently who also still has that real passion for the club. He displayed it to me recently when I met him in Sydney over a beer. I wanted to meet him because I had heard his name mentioned so much since I joined the club, not because he was a member of a great premiership team of the past, but because both current and former players seem to hold him in the highest regard because of his values and what he represented as a Melbourne player. And so did many of the supporters feel the same way. Unfortunately, he also seemed to be symbolic of what this club has not done so well in recent years. It seemed to me from listening to these people that we should right a wrong if we could, or at least apologise on behalf of the club. And that was the main purpose of my catch-up with him. On reflection, though, I saw in him what everyone else had. He displayed what we would all think are great values and culture we want for our club. So when I came back, I spoke to our exec team and then the board about creating a new award to be presented at the Best and Fairest this year, being the Best Team Man Award, and naming it after this player, so that current and future players could get to understand what being a Melbourne Football Club player stands for. And tonight we will present the inaugural Best Team Man Award. The Best Team Man Award is awarded to the player who in the current year sacrifices self for the greater good of the team, has a never say die attitude, is consistent in his commitment and performance on match day and at training, has cared for his teammates on and off the field, has a fierce determination and work rate, is courageous both on the field but also off the field, and his willingness to speak up for the good of the team. This award will be named after James McDonald. James played 251 games for the Melbourne Football Club, won 2 Best and Fairest and All-Australian award and was captain of the club for 2.5 years. Great record, but I wanted to confirm James's credentials above all other players to have this award named after him. So I asked Todd Viney to go back over the modern era to about 1988 and check with other players who might be considered. I noticed when I asked Todd that his bottom lip dropped a bit because Todd thought perhaps the Todd Viney Best Team Man award had some merit. But he went off and talked to a few other players, and I understand he spoke to Robbie Flower and David Neitz, who probably didn't know they were specifically targeting, Todd was specifically targeting James, but it was a unanimous choice amongst those 3 greats that James was the right choice. As it happens, we're very fortunate to have James here tonight. At least I certainly hope he is. I haven't seen him yet. I hope the plane got here on time. James was invited as a former Best and Fairest winner and wanted to be part of the tribute to Aaron Davey, which is the main reason for him being here tonight. But what a great opportunity to invite James to the stage to present the Best Team Man award for 2013. James.
You can sit down now.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the inaugural James McDonald Best Team Man Award for 2013, who displayed all those characteristics during the year, is Nathan Jones.
There's not too much more I could say about Jimmy. I think Pete covered it pretty well, but I'm completely honoured to win this award. I was lucky enough to play with James, and he was my number one role model for the time that he was at the footy club, and I probably didn't look up to anyone more than him, in particular when he was a captain. Obviously as a player, everyone saw him as tough and courageous, but I think he made the biggest impact on me as a leader. Obviously got so much out of his talent, and to see him win All-Australian honours, captain the footy club for 2 years, and become the player that he was, and obviously see him right till the end was a great honour for me. So if I could be half as respected as Jimmy was by his teammates at the end of my career, I'd be really proud. So I'd just like to thank the footy club, obviously, the coaches, really supported me throughout the year. I'd like to thank the fans and most of all my teammates. It's a pretty tough year personally in terms of copping a fair bit of attention, but the amount of respect I earned for a lot of the guys on our list this year and helping me out to try and play my best footy, I can't thank you guys enough, so thank you.
Just to finish, ladies and gentlemen, future success in AFL footy is not always measured by the current scoreboard or the win-loss ratio. Future success is often measured in terms of the current year development. Development of players, of values, of resilience, of a hard competitive edge, or just deciding in your mind, both individually and collectively, that you just don't want to be second-rate anymore. Melbourne Football Club has achieved quite a bit on this front, in my view, during the latter part of this year. As I've heard our new chairman say more than once, we're at a fork in the road. We are. and now we go down the right path towards success. I'm not sure how long it'll take, but I know it's not an overnight journey, but it is a journey that we start now. Thank you very much.